Imagine 5 brothers scattered across Europe, each in a different empire, each holding the strings of kings and wars. They didn't rule nations with armies, they ruled with credit. This is the story of how one family, through letters, trust, and ruthless intelligence, built a banking empire that connected the old world to the modern financial system. Not through conquest, but through calculation. And it all began in a cramped house in the Jewish ghetto of Frankfurt, where gold coins clinked louder than the church bells outside. To understand the Rothschilds, you must understand the world they were born into. Europe in the late 1700s was not a land of opportunity. It was a maze of monarchies, wars, and strict social hierarchies. Banking was fragmented, dangerous, and deeply tied to royal favor. Gold moved slower than rumor, and power was limited by distance. Communication could take weeks. Profit could vanish in days. Into this world stepped a man named Mayer Amschel Rothschild, born in 1744 in Frankfurt's Judengasse. The family wasn't noble. They weren't powerful. But Mayer possessed something more valuable than land or title, a mind that understood the language of money. Mayer Amschel started small, trading in rare coins and antiquities, catering to aristocrats who collected history like trophies. His business relied on trust and reputation, currency more powerful than gold. When he began handling investments and currency exchange for local princes, something clicked. He saw the inefficiency of Europe's financial web, slow, secretive, local. So he built something new, a network. Not a single bank, but 5, connected across borders by his 5 sons, each son sent to a different financial capital. Amschel in Frankfurt, Salomon in Vienna, Nathan in London, Karl in Naples, and James in Paris. Letters, coded and carried by couriers, became their secret weapon. Through this correspondence, they built the fastest, most reliable information network in Europe, faster even than governments. Then came opportunity wrapped in chaos, the Napoleonic Wars. As Europe burned, kings and generals needed one thing above all: money. The Rothschilds financed both armies and governments, but not recklessly. They didn't bet on victory, they bet on survival. Nathan Rothschild in London became a legend. Using his vast courier network, he received news of Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo before anyone else. That information, hours ahead of the British government, made him a fortune. By buying government bonds when others panicked and selling when the truth reached the public, Nathan turned intelligence into empire. Soon, the Rothschilds weren't just bankers. They were the nervous system of Europe's economy. But their true genius wasn't luck, it was structure. While others lent to kings, the Rothschilds built a system that outlasted them. They standardized loans across borders, created credit lines between their branches, and offered secure currency exchanges at a time when trust was rare. They pioneered what we now call international finance, a family bank operating as one synchronized organism. Their name became synonymous with security. When monarchs needed loans for railways, wars, or peace treaties, they went to one family. Bonds issued under the Rothschild seal were more stable than national currencies. In effect, the Rothschilds became a private central bank of Europe, but power attracts attention. As their influence grew, so did suspicion. Politicians feared them, rivals envied them. Myths spread like wildfire. Were they pulling the strings of Europe's kings, controlling wars, deciding peace? The truth was less sinister, but no less impressive. The Rothschilds weren't manipulating nations. They were mastering risk. They refused to lend to unstable governments. They avoided speculation. They diversified before diversification had a name. Their wealth came not from shadow deals, but from something far more timeless: information, discipline, and timing. By the mid-19th century, their dynasty reached every corner of Europe: railways in France, canals in Austria, mines in Spain, Even early infrastructure projects in the Middle East, they financed revolutions and restorations, peace treaties and prosperity. But time, as always, changed the game. The rise of national banks and the democratization of finance slowly eroded their central role. The Rothschilds remained wealthy, but the era of private family empires was ending. The machine they built had inspired a new world of global finance, one now run by corporations and states. Today, the same dynamics that built the Rothschild empire still shape our world. Only the names have changed. Information is still power. Networks still rule. In the 19th century, it was couriers and coded letters. In the 21st, it's data and algorithms. The Rothschilds understood something that tech giants and investors now live by. The one who sees the future first, win. Their empire wasn't built on secrecy. It was built on speed, structure, and trust. They showed that money is more than a medium. It's a message, a signal that connects ambition to opportunity. From their story, we can extract 3 timeless principles of financial mastery. 1. Information beats speculation. The Rothschilds didn't gamble. They prepared, verified, and acted when others hesitated. 2. Networks build empires. Wealth multiplies through relationships, not isolation. Every success they had began with connection and trust. 3. Adaptation is survival. The family endured centuries because they evolved, from gold dealers to international bankers to investors in modern industries. The real empire they built wasn't made of marble or crowns. It was made of systems that still underpin how global finance works today. Every financial empire has a lifespan. The Rothschilds thrived by reading the signs of change before anyone else, a skill as vital now as it was 200 years ago. Today's empires are digital, decentralized, and volatile. But the lesson remains the same. Those who understand how money moves shape the world. The Rothschilds didn't just build a dynasty. They built a blueprint. The question is, who's following it now? If stories like this fascinate you, stories of power, risk, and genius that define how money truly works, subscribe to Financial Club. Because rule number 1 is to always talk about money.